Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namah. Namah Samai Saraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Sabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandhanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Ananta Ananta Bhava Vedati Bareli Bali Ananta Ananta Naya Niksepe Vyakhaniche Sakala Jagata Hita Karini Harini Moh Tarini Pamani Moksha Charini Pramani Che Upama Apyani Jene Tamara Kavite Vyartha આપવાથી નિજ મતિ મપાઈ મેં માની છે અહોરાજ ચંદ્ર બાળ ખ્યાલ નથી પામતાએ જીનેશ્વર તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ગુરુરાજ તણી વાણી જાણી તેણે જાણી છે ઓમ નમઃ સિદ્ધેભ્યો Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is December 21, 2020, Monday, and we are continuing our discussion on Atmasiddhi Shastra. On the Atmasiddhi Shastra, we are on the 8th stanza. First two stanzas, Kripaludev gave the Mangalacharan. In Indian system, in Indian literature system, there is a system that there is a first Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan means when you write, when you do any auspicious occasion, then you start with Mangalacharan, means you have the invocation of blessings. So in literature also, when he starts, when anyone starts, then they start with Mangalacharan. We do any kind of good or any occasion, happy occasion or sad occasion, always we start with Mangalacharan, means that invocation of blessing. So first two stanzas were invocation of blessing, in which it says, what is this subject matter that I'm going to talk about? And so Kripaludev, Srimad Rajchandraji explained to us the purpose of writing this kind of scripture. And then third to seventh stanza, he shows the nature of ignorant soul. And he divided those ignorant soul into two categories. He just said that there are two categories of souls are there. One type of ignorant souls are simply blindly ritualist. They believe in rituals no matter what, and blindly they keep on performing. And second group of people, they are simply with the dry knowledge of the subject. They keep on reciting so many stanzas and all the thing, but it's all dry knowledge. There is nothing to follow through that. So he described those two kinds of people. Now that he established that where a general person is staying in a wrong faith state, then now it's a very important stanza comes, in which he says, I'm going to talk to you what is to be done. for any person to have the benevolence for his own soul's, for soul's perspective. What can I do? What will I do? How will I do it? And those are the things now he starts really great way. So giving that introductory remark, now we see what happens in this stanza. So let me play the stanza for you first, and then we'll start from wherever we were, and we'll recapitulate quickly what we learned from last week. So, yeah. So this is the eighth stanza that we are going to talk about it. That what is Srimadji exactly what he wants me to learn about it. Stanza number 8, and seventh stanza it said that self-realization one has to have indifference to the worldly object and renunciation. You want to have self-realization, then the rock bottom minimum thing you have to have indifference to the worldly object and renunciation. Two things is a kind of rock bottom eligibility for one to go for it. Without them, self-realization not possible. Means this is the minimum requirement. You go to college and you have been said, well, what is you want to go certain classes you want to take it. What's a prereqs? Well, you have to have such and such and such credit hours of so many subjects that you have done in the high school, then you are eligible. So for getting self-realization, indifference of the worldly object, renunciation, those two things are must. And if you don't have it, you are not eligible to get the self-realization, period. Now, having said that, he really puts a red light also right away that, okay, now that I know I want to have self-realization, so I have to have indifference of worldly life and of a worldly object. And so these two things, I'm supposed to have it no matter what. Having known that thing, now that I know the two things, so I kept on pursuing these two aims. And instead of self-realization being my aim, this becomes my aim, and that's all I keep on doing it. And so one who forgets the nature of soul, one who forgets that his ultimate aim is self-realization, and get engrossed in indifference and renunciation and indifference to the worldly object. If you get stuck there, if you get stuck over here, then also you are not going to get self-realization. Two things. To start with, you have to have this eligibility, then you can get self-realization. But if you get stuck over here and you think that is your fulfillment you have done, then also you will not go further. So those kind of, see, he tries to tell us what are my problems, where can I not get stuck. So those kind of really important information Srimadji gives us. From stanza 3 to 7, nature of the person with a strong altered opinion of reality means matarthi was described. It showed the nature of blind rituals and one having dry knowledge. And over here, the nature of discrimination present in one who has benevolence of his eternal soul, means Atmarthi. What is the nature of Atmarthi? Up till now, we know the Matarthi. Now we are going to know about the Atmarthi. So here, this stanza comes. Simple stanza. This is the really a great quality of Srimadji. It shows how much extreme extreme intellect he had it, how much control over the language he had it. Simple language. Now anybody can sing these two lines. It is not difficult at all. Jaja je yoga che, whatever is appropriate, wherever it is, one understands that part. That this is appropriate thing, then that appropriate thing I'm going to observe. Once I understand, then I'm going to have conduct, and that is called Atmarthi. Atmarthi means one who is looking for obtaining self-realization. You want to get self-realization, then two things are important: samjan and acharan, understanding and conduct, understanding and behavior. Now, so simple word he uses, samjan and acharan, two Gujarati words. Anybody can understand. A small child, my grandchild, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, when he's growing up, he needs to have diaper because he does not know how to go to bathroom. Now he understands. What is his conduct? He wants to go to pee, he runs to the bathroom. Is it not a great thing that even small little child can understand? Once he understands, his conduct appears the same. You know, Srimadji said these things, and he gave a tremendous amount of principle in these two words. Acharya Umaswati ji, who wrote down Tattvat Sutra. Tattvat Sutra, any Jain, anywhere in the world, it's a non-sectarian book. Shwetambar will follow, Digambar will follow, so Sanakwasi will follow. Every Jain will follow that book. It's called Jain Gita. I don't want to compare with anybody else. This is the Jain scripture. It is accepted by everybody. So the very first chapter, very first verse in that book, Tattvat Sutra, Umaswati ji writes, Samyak darshan gnan charitrani hi moksmargaha, and you must have heard that sentence many times. Means Samyak darshan, Samyak gnan, Samyak charitra, the unity of all three is the path to the liberation. Means right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Unity of all three, triple gem, Ratnatray, triple gem, unity of all three is called path to the liberation. It's called Moksha. And what does Srimadji says over here? Samjan. Samjan means Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan. And Acharan means Samyak Charitra. Oh my God! You mean he spoke those Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, Samyak Charitra in this stanza? Yes. Tactfully, with his control of language, he speaks simple, uses simple, extreme simple words and gives an extreme detailed message. So youngest of the young kid can remember this stanza. Oldest of the older person, mature person, spiritually mature person, he will know that Srimadji wants me to have right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. That means I am on the path to the liberation. So this is the amazing capacity of this knowledgeable person, to whom we bow down our head and we learn. Every day we learn from. So having said that one, so now so many things we talked about, explanation of the stanza, everything. Now we were so this one. One is lounging for self-realization. Srimadji puts for right knowledge, right conduct, and right knowledge and right conduct. Samjan and Acharan. So he is one who is lounging for self-realization. Srimadji puts these two words, and that means Acharya Umaswati ji's Tattva Sutra, first chapter, first sutra, it's a Samyak Darshan Gnan Charitrani Hi Moksha Margaha, means first and second bullets means the same thing explained in two different words. This is the highly Sanskrit words, and this is Samjan and Acharan. Simple, simple, so simple Gujarati word, and Srimadji put forward those two words, telling us, this is the way to opt. I mean, you don't. One does not have to sing lots of Sanskrit verses to impress the audience. That's why Kunkun Acharya Dev wrote down in a Samaisar, eight stanza, right? No, eight stanza, Kunkun Acharya Dev says in the eighth stanza of Samaisar, that bhasha anarya vinana samaja vishakaya anarya ne vyavaharavan paramarthano upadesa emasakya che. Means if there's a barbarian person who is illiterate, then you talk in his language. You lower down your tone, go to his language and talk to him and pass the message of spirituality. There was one saint, and I don't remember his name, in India, in Gujarat. He will go to the villages and he will speak villagers' language. He will use four-letter words practically, because those are the way that those villagers are using those words all the time, curse words and everything. He will speak that way and he will give a message. Similarly, here, Srimadji said, Samjana Acharan. My grandkid, 3-year-old, can understand Samjana Acharan. Listen, time to take this. He comes to my place and says, Grandpa, I stopped wearing diaper. And he is kind of very, as if he just won the whole world by graduating from diaper, because he understood. So now he's acting accordingly. You understood the moksha marg, you act accordingly. Soul has unity of all these 3 points, right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, and that soul is on the path to the liberation, means moksha marg. Such type of person is on the path to liberation, moksha marg. So Srimadji is telling the readers that to be on the path to the liberation, one must understand the nature of right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. So in simple 2 words, Srimadji told us that, hey, you know what? You guys are learned. You guys are over here. You guys have inquisitiveness. You guys have thirst to, you have quest for learning. And that's why you are putting your time over here. So I'm going to tell you how to obtain right faith, right knowledge, right conduct. So here, Srimadji has taken the vow to explain to us what he meant by these 2 simple words that he just suggested here. So, whatever is appropriate, one must accept it. This is the literal meaning of the stanza. When there is a nature of reality to discuss, one must know that it's regarding the eternal soul substance. When we talk about the nature, I am the eternal soul, I am the perfect soul, I am the pure soul, I am the all-knower soul substance, I am immortal soul substance. What does it mean? That means reality is getting discussed. 6 universal substances in the universe, they are absolutely independent of each other. when you have that little interest in Jain philosophy, when you go deeper, there is extreme amount of information telling us independence of each and every substance in this universe. I was not a religious person. I'll tell you, I was atheist, young blood and everything. And who says this and that, everything, and came to this new world and everything and thought that I have won the world and I'm just on the new world and I'm going to be successful in my own way. And I was in the illusion and I did that. That illusion lasted for a few years and then I realized when my kids were growing up, my firstborn child, he has to go to the school. What will happen to him now? How will he know right from wrong? He has everything and more. So how will he know what is right, what is wrong? So religion entered from back door in our life, and ever since going deeper and deeper, it just makes tremendous sense to us to understand that this philosophy is unchallenged, unparalleled, amazing. So when nature of the reality is talk, six universal substances are talking, means the author wants to talk about eternal soul substance. I am the eternal soul substance. Whatever the consideration is given, whatever the consideration in the given advice, one must know its nature. So when it's, one second, I have to close the door here. Sorry, there's disturbance coming from the outside. All right. So one must understand. One must understand what is, when we are talking about reality and nature of the reality. That means it's talking about me, myself, the eternal soul substance. When it's been said that one must put his personal effort to reduce rag and dvesh, one should understand that it's been said for convention point of view with aim of ultimate reality. See, this bullet alone, if you want to really expand on it, it will take a few classes already. One bullet alone. What it says that when we are talking about rag and dvesh, inclination of attachment and aversion, then it just says that one should give up the rag and dvesh. That sentence is from convention point of view, because ultimate reality, eternal soul substance, is absolute point of view. There is nothing like to give up rag and dvesh. Nothing like giving up rag and dvesh. I mean, this is the absolute point of view we are talking. For example, this room has a darkness, intense darkness, and I am being given the work to remove this darkness. And this darkness in this room is there since ages, since eternity. Pitch darkness. And I've been said to remove them. What will you do? You said, I will put the light on. Wait, I give you work to remove the darkness, and you are talking to me about putting the light on. Remove the darkness. No, put the light on. Remove. Why? Because when you put the light on, automatically darkness disappears. When you understand the ultimate reality, then there is rag-dvesh, like darkness of rag-dvesh disappears. Ultimate reality of light is rekindled. Then the darkness of rag and dvesh simply disappear. You don't need to remove them. I give you a line drawn on a blackboard. It's a chalk stick. I draw a line. And I just tell you that make this line short without touching it. Make this line small without touching it. You said, what a big deal. This line is short or small, and this line is line. So you came and you draw a big line over here. When the big line is drawn, automatically this line becomes small. When you have big line of ultimate reality, then rag and dvesh automatically become less significant. And that's what it says. You don't need, there are classes and seminars on how to remove anger. People, corporate structure, they pay thousands of dollars for their executives to go to such kind of courses. And they have been said how to remove your anger. And understand your ultimate reality, and that anger, deceit, ego, greed, rag, dvesh, they are already becoming extremely insignificant. You must realize that small kids, they have the dirtiest looking blanket, but if that blanket is not there, they won't go to sleep. They've gone to friend's place and they forgot the blanket. Parents will have to rush there to give that dirty blanket so that kid can go to sleep. Now that kid has grown up, he's an adult. Does he still sleep with that blanket? No, there is no importance of that thing. Now he has a soft blanket that he is using his own. So those are the things that we have to understand. Rag, dvesh, they disappear. One who has benevolence of his eternal soul substance, Atmarthi, he does not accept one-sided view, ekant drashti. So he just balanced views that I want to remove rag and dvesh, conventional point of view, and ultimate reality to obtain is an absolute point of view. So he's using those balanced views. You are standing in a weighing scale. You're putting 2 feet on it. Now you want to make it balanced. So you are standing in such a way that your both weight of the both feet will be equalized in both the balance side. And that way you can do it. If you put one weight on one side or other weight on the other side, it will not work. If you have one boat and you have two rows are there, if you put both the rows, then the boat will go straight into the water. But only if you're using one row only, then it will be going clockwise. You use the other row only, the boat will go counterclockwise and you will not progress at all. So you have to have balanced views. You cannot have one-sided view and just, I need to remove my rag and dvesh, that's it, that's my aim. No, that's not right. I want to be ultimate reality and that's it. But then you are just forgetting that you have anger, deceit, ego, greed, and all those things. So we will see more coming in this next slide onward. What is the questions that learned student asking? It's not the learned student asking question. It's us. We are asking this question to our learned saint that you said so far that from the highest truth perspective, soul is without any toxic emotions. So that means highest truth perspective, soul is a pure. Soul is a pure. Means that soul, any soul, any soul anywhere in the hell or heaven or subhuman or human life, every soul, by soul they are pure. The gold in the gold mine, the rock which is having the gold particles. The particles of gold are pure, mixed with the rock or dirt. When you purify them, when you pass through the acid, when you pass through the heat, and when you make the pure gold coin, that is also pure. When you make the necklace out of it, in the necklace, that gold is pure. You have the ring, that ring is a pure gold. That rock in the mine, that gold particles are pure. Similarly, the lowest form of life, Nigod living being, has a pure soul. As a soul, as a substance is pure. 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense living being, 5 sense living being, human being, animals, plants, and heaven soul, and Tirthankar Bhagwan and Siddha Bhagwan, they all have pure soul. You mean the Nigod cell also has a pure soul? Yes. Just like the way that the gold is in that rock, those gold particles are spread through the rock. Only the gold digger will know how much is a gold in that rock. So gold is pure, soul is pure. So it's a question student is asking. So you are telling that soul is a pure. Now on the same breath, you are telling me then why we are talking about removing the increase of attachment, etc. state from the soul. So if the soul is pure, why do I need to remove all these things? Where are those things when you just a pure soul? Srimadji says that, yes, I understand. I know you have question. This purity I'm talking is from substance perspective. Any substance you take has a substance, has infinite attributes within, and infinite modes coming every samay, means every moment it transformation occurs in those attributes. So substance, attribute, modes, I mean pariyai, mode. So these modes are there. So when I say soul is a pure from substance perspective, when you go to that gold mine and looking at the rock, that rock is having the gold present within is a pure. Now there are in the modes. Modes are the one where impurities are occurring. Your inclination of attachment and aversion states are in the modal state. So if I remove those modal state, then I can get the eternal soul substance. If I have that purity present within, then I will be able to manifest that purity. But if that is not there at all, I come to you with a proposal that I have a great idea. Would you please, both of you, would you invest $1 million in my project? And we are going to make tons and tons of money. You said, okay, what's a project? And I said, I have a sand and I'm going to make the oil out of that sand. You said, hey, you lost your mind, get lost. Sand and getting oil out of sand? Forget it. Yeah, but I have all project, everything is ready, all the plants are ready. But wait a second, sand does not have oil within. How can you extract oil out of sand? Yes, if you tell me sesame seed, yes, peanut, yeah, Almond, yeah, but sand. Similarly, if there is a soul substance is not there, if the purity is not lying within, I can never manifest that purity. So that's why over here we are saying that the soul is soul is pure, and over here he said no, from modal perspective soul is impure also. There is nothing beside the knowledge. Now having said those two things are clarified, then it's been said over here that there is nothing besides knowledge in the soul. Soul is an embodiment of knowledge. Soul is embodiment of knowledge. And Kunkunacharya Dev in Samaysar told the same fact again and again and again and again for 415 stanzas. The most auspicious literature, most auspicious scripture, Samaysar, that is being said in with that Samaysar. So Kunkunacharya, they all up to 415 stanza, he keeps on repeating, soul is a knowledge and knowledge is a soul. And interchangeably, he's using those words, saying that there is nothing besides knowledge in the soul. Soul is embodiment of knowledge. Soul is a pure form of knowledge. Soul has so much knowledge that there is no other things to enter into the soul. So that means in the increase of attachment and aversion, rag and dvesh cannot enter into the soul's periphery, because whole soul's periphery, whole soul is a Vignan Gan, embodiment of knowledge. It is every corner, every space point has a knowledge. There is nothing that you can take, you can enter in that soul substance. So increase of attachment and aversion cannot enter the soul. But still the right faith was not generated. What's the reason for it? So questioner is saying that, you are saying all these things. And if I had the eternal, so if the sesame seed has an oil, how come that oil I'm not able to generate from within? This is not like a sand. This is the sesame seed you are talking, peanut you are talking, almond you are talking. There is an oil inside. Then how come that oil I'm not able to get it? And then Acharya says, you need to work on it. You to find out how to extract the oil out of it. You to find out where is the knowledge sitting, and you to find out the way how to extract. So questioner, he's asked question. So now Sri Guru gives the answer that he says, with the auspicious inclination, with the body's activity, soul does not have any benefit. What's that he said? With auspicious inclination, means I have a right thought process, positive thought process, and also I'm doing body activities of mind, speech, and body activity I'm performing. They cannot do anything to the soul. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami used to say that, and this is, I'm going to use the local dialect that he used to talk. લસણ ખાધા પછી તને અમૃતનો ઓડકાર નહીં આવે. You are eating the onion and you want to have satisfaction as if you have eaten the nectar. No. You will not get satisfaction of nectar. It will be only onion taste will be there. Your breath will not smell like a nectar. It will smell like a bad onion. Without experiencing the self, there is no righteousness. You want to have righteousness, you want to be a dharmi, you want to be a religious person, then you have to have experiencing of the soul. if in lots of places during these scriptures, it's been mentioned that who could be called righteous person, the one who has experienced a soul substance. He is only righteous person. I am not, because I did not experience a soul substance. This is what scripture says. So the scripture says this kind of things. So now, if someone knows about fact and he stops doing ritual, etc., what is saying? That scriptures are saying that auspicious inclination, body activity, they're not benefit to the soul. Without experiencing self, there is no righteousness. So all those things, when the scriptures is saying all such type of things, then what good it is for me? What good is it for me to perform rituals and to do the scriptural study, etc., etc.? I'm not going to do anything like this now. I took the messages over here in the wrong understanding, in the wrong pattern. I took it. And I stopped doing rituals, etc., reading scripture, etc. A soul, a given soul, can possibly do only three possible activities. Three possible activities. To stay in its innate state, pure state, or to just go into the auspicious act or inauspicious act. I am not in the innate state. I have not experienced a soul substance. So now only two choices, auspiciousness or inauspiciousness. And here, rituals and scripture reading, etc., I'm stopping. So I'm not doing auspicious thing. I'm not here. I'm not doing this. What the third thing remains for me? Does it mean that I have to do only inauspicious thing? I have to do on the path? Is that the message Acharya is trying to give us? He says that in him there is no inclination of attachment state, etc., and behaves with his own will. So he doesn't want to do all this thing because these are body activities. They are not beneficial, and auspicious inclination are not beneficial. So I'm not going to do anything like that. So I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing it. That kind of a self-willed person, he is on a destructive path. Then without performing any renunciation, etc., where will he go? Now, if you're not doing this kind of some rituals also, if you're not doing it, then you are doing only sinful activities. Where will that sinful activity will take you? It will take you to hell and in the lowest form of life, Nigod. I am digging my own grave. I cannot blame to anybody. I am the problem. I have accepted my problem. I am performing my sinful activities, and I'm going to go to hell, and I'm going to go to lowest form of life, Nigod, and then I'm going to cry and cry and cry and cry. It's useless. Now that I, as a human being, I have that choice right now to perform something right way. And by doing that way, I can come out ahead, but I don't want to do that right now. I am in Swachan, I'm a self-willed person, and that's not right. So the enlightened teacher never gives any advice for one to end up in inauspicious state. Any teacher will not say, because this is not good, you are not here, so go and do sinful activity. Tell me which religion will do that. Which religion will advise you to do sinful activity? Go to any religion, anywhere in the corner of the world. No, nobody will say. People will interpret a wrong way. and say, if you don't believe my religion, then you are kafir and you need to be killed. But those are the radicalized people. The real religion doesn't say that way. No religion in the earth will say that. So, and the answer is, enlightened teacher doesn't want you to fall down. In a Samesar, I can give you exact stanza and that you can refer that time, or the exactly same stanza came here. 304. Samesar has 415 stanza out of 304 and 305 stanza. 304 and 305 stanza. It says, Pratikaman is a poison. Yes, I'm awake right now. Pratikaman is poison. Wait, this is what I do at least once a year, once every 4 months, once every 15 days, twice a day. I do those pratikaman. And you are telling me that pratikaman is a poison? And you said Kunkun Acharya Dev wrote down? Then Kunkun Acharya Dev lost his mind. 2000 years back. He wrote down, he must have lost his mind. Pratikaman. And you are telling me it's a poison. Not only that, 305 stanza it says, oh pratikaman, not to do pratikaman is a nectar, amrut. Wait, this guy is nuts. That's what people will say. Remember, enlightened teachers, the Kunkunacharya, this highly enlightened monk, his advice, pratikaman is a poison, and not to do pratikaman is a nectar. No. You son, you understand it wrong. What he meant was saying that 3 things you are performing, you can do to go to your innate state, number 1, to do the auspicious activity, number 2, and to do inauspicious activity, number 3. So here is pratikaman is a shubha, auspicious activity. But if I continue to do the auspicious activity, I will bind the auspicious karma. As a result, I will end up going to heavenly life. And once that heavenly life is over, I'll go to 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense life, or whatever. And the transmigration will continue again and again and again and again forever. I saved the money, so now I'm spending. Similarly, I did the auspicious activity. As a result, I'm going to spend that auspicious karma in the heavenly life. So that's why that pratikaman can, if that pratikaman is only my aim, then it will just take me maximum to the heavenly life. Once heavenly life is over, I'll continue my transmigration. But instead of that, on a pratikaman means with not doing any pratikaman means understanding, realizing your soul, when there is no reflective thoughts, when there is primary abstract comprehension, when there is experiencing of the soul, and there is no reflective thoughts present, that is called anapratikaman, no pratikaman. So enlightened teacher will never give you advice to end up go to the inauspicious state and do bad things. So these kind of things we have to learn from our learned saints who can explain to us in a proper understanding that why these things are being mentioned, what does it mean, what's a deep meaning to those kind of things, and that's what we have to understand. You are advised to give up a job. You're a smart kid, and somebody advised you, give up the job. Wait a second, you are telling me to give up my job? Are you nuts? What will happen to me 2 weeks down the road? There's no paycheck. How can I pay the rent? How can I pay? Remember, give up your job. Why? Because that advisor wants you to start your business because you have that capacity to do the business. So when he's telling you to give up the job, doesn't mean he's asking you to apply for unemployment tomorrow morning. He's telling you that you have potential to open the business of your own, and you can be successful. You can earn nth amount of money than what you are earning right now. So that my enlightened teacher, advisors, they will never ask you to go down. They will always thinking to take you up. So this is the answer for that question. So now there is one example about one-sided view. When we say one-sided view means whatever comes in my mind, I decide and I just say, this is what I believe and that's it, no if and or buts. So in this example, it says, someone says, if you fall, then you will die. Someone gives advice, if you fall, you will die. The listener, he starts with a quarrel. He says, what the hell you mean by telling me about death? I hate you. I don't like you. And he starts fighting, quarreling, verbal abuse occurs. But this first guy says, what I meant to say, don't fall. Important was on the don't fall. It was importance was not on dying, meaning that our advice was for one to prevent the fall, not for dying. But if I take the wrong notion, if I take only one-sided wrong views, then everything looks bad to me. You all know jaundice. What happens? Sclera becomes yellow and everything looks yellow. Whole world is yellow. And you just say, this is yellow, this is yellow, this is yellow. No, everything is exactly the same way they are. I am yellow. I have a sclera, which I took the sunglasses of yellow sunglasses, basically. That's why everything looks yellow to me. So that one-sided view is, and he doesn't understand what's right from wrong. And he just does understand whatever comes in his mind, he decides. So giving that example, now in the scripture, the sentence about path to liberation, moksha marg, will come. In the scripture, sentence about the moksha marg, it comes this way, that auspicious inclinations are censorable, means auspicious inclinations are to be discarded. This is where it's been said in the scripture. Auspicious inclinations are censorable. If you do pratikaman, it's a censorable. If you do donation, censorable. If you do charity, that's good. Charity is a censorable thing. So tomorrow, Jain Center president comes to me and says, hey, such and such person, please give us donate. Look here. I will look. Give by class. Oh, here the blue bullet. What it says? Read this one. Auspicious inclinations are censorable. So donations and charity, etc., censorable. So I'm not going to give anything because scripture says so. Wait. Don't take the wrong way. Why are you telling me to die? Why are you telling me? Important thing, the guy want to convey the message, don't fall. That was important. Here, especially inclinations are censorable, not to be performed. 5 great vows are inflow. Inflow is the word inflow to be underlined. And attract the karma, that other one you have to understand, to the soul. That's why they need to be discarded. So 5 great vows, they are called inflow, ashrav. Remember those 9 reals we have it? Living, non-living, auspiciousness, punya, pap, ashrav means inflow, bondage means burn, sambar means stoppage, nirjara means shading, and liberation means moksha. So those 9 tattva, so 5 great vows means Muniraj is performing 5 great, they are called inflow. What a big deal. They are inflow and they bring the karma. That reminds me, I have seen Digambar monks in the height of winter in a mountainous town in India. I was there several years back. And my host says, let's go and do the puja, everything in the temple. So I bundled up myself with extra clothes and everything and went to the temple, and we are still feeling cold within because we are sitting on the marble floor, etc. And 4 or 5 Muniraj, they came, naked saint. Here I have bundled up with so many clothes and I'm still shivering within. And these naked saints, they come and pray the Lord. On their face, you cannot see any misery from this cold. That kind of 5 great vows they are observing. And here it says in the literature, they are called inflow and they attract the karma. So what? I'm not going to perform that kind of act because it's inflow, ashra, it's bring karma bondage. I am looking this kind of sentences from one-sided view only, just like the guy in the previous example saying that, why do you tell me to die? No, he meant to say, don't fall. That was the central theme here. But as long as soul is not in transcendental stage, he's stuck in the rag and dvesh state. As long as I'm not a free soul right now, I'm stuck in rag and dvesh state. They are the reality. There is no question about it that it happens. Instead of milder form of toxic, he is deeply engrossed in worldly pleasure. This guy does not understand this bullet, that till I get complete free from this bondage, I still have that rag and dvesh. It is present in the learned saints. It is present in the learned householder. It is present in the learned monks. So they have milder form of toxic emotions, milder form of kashai. They are still present, and so he gets engrossed into the deep the nature of the soul. He gets engrossed in these toxic emotions, and he end up getting a worldly pleasure, not knowing what he's going to get it. From him, right faith is impossible. It is way far away above. It is just in the horizon. There is no right faith that is seen. That reminds me, one of my friend, many years, we had gone to his home for party, and then in the after the dinner, heavy dinner, everything, we are just gone for walk and everything, and somebody, we were young in the 30s and 40s, I think, and somebody said about retirement, and this guy says, the host says, Ajit said, Oh my God, even cannot see the word retirement in my horizon. Similarly, this guy, right faith is not possible. It's not in the horizon for him. So here we put the two words over here in this bullet. We did not discuss much about it, but we'll be talking inflow and attraction of karma. These two guys, these two words will be talking. Auspicious inclination is psychic inflow and invites material inflow. So these two words will describe a lot more in detail because they are extremely loaded words are there. And we'll talk a lot more about it next week. Time 1 hour passed by. I can't imagine that the time goes so fast, so quick. Anyway, any question you have it, then we can just talk about it. Any questions? Okay. If not, then we'll just do the closing, okay? जी स्वरूप समझा बिना पाम्यो दुख अनंत समझाव्यूं ते पद नमो श्री सदगुरु भगवन परम पुरुष प्रभु सदगुरु परम ज्ञान सुखदाम जेने आप्यूं भाननी तेने सदा प्रणाम देह छता जेनी दशा वर्ते देहाती ते ज्ञानी ना चरण हो वंदन अगणी आज्ञानी ना चरण हो वंदन अगणी. Jai Jinendra. For next week, next Monday, we will not take the class. We will have a 1 week off because of the holiday season, and everybody will be busy with their family, friends, and whatever. So next Monday, we won't have class, and then on the new year after 2000 in a 2021 first week of January, I think third or fourth, whatever that Monday comes, we'll restart again. Okay, all right. Jai Jagan. Thank you.
Jai Jinendra, thank you, Uncle.
Thanks, Bye. Okay.